I remember lying there on that massage table, half naked under a heavy white sheet. The room smelled of lavender and sandalwood. Rain tapped against the window like a warning I didn't yet understand. And then, his hands. His name was Caleb. 26. Half my age. A stranger who became the first man to touch a part of me even I had forgotten still existed. But what I didn't know then was that his touch would unravel not only my loneliness, but the past I thought I had buried. At first, it was professional. Slow, practiced strokes across my shoulders, down my spine. Nothing wandering, nothing reckless. But I felt it, an intensity in his hands that wasn't in the oils or the training. It was something unspoken. When his touch paused just below my waist, I flinched. Not from fear. From hunger. And then, his breath, close to my ear. "May I?" he whispered. I didn't answer with words. Just lifted my hips. That small surrender changed everything. He folded the sheet back with a reverence I hadn't felt in years. When his lips touched the inside of my thigh, I gasped, quiet, startled. And when his mouth found me, it wasn't vulgar. It was worship. But what haunts me most is not the pleasure. It was what he whispered when it ended. "You don't look like you need fixing. You look like you need to be held." And then he was gone. Just like that. The next morning, I found it. A message on my bathroom mirror, scrawled in handwriting almost too shy to belong to a man like him. "I see the ache behind your smile. Don't hide from me next time." I should have been unsettled. But instead, I kept reading those words like they were a promise. Days passed. I cancelled my next appointment, telling myself I needed space. But the truth? I was terrified. Terrified of needing him again. And yet, fate kept pulling us together. At the cafe, his eyes lingered on me like a half-finished sentence. Later, a text. No pressure. Just firewood, jazz, and quiet, if you need it. I should have said no. But instead, I brought wine, walked into his studio, and into his past. That night, between sips and silences, he told me about Boston. About losing his parents young. About being raised by an aunt who gave him shelter but never warmth. And I told him my truth. The silence of 6 years divorced. The nights untouched. The doubt that my body still deserved wonder. When his lips pressed against my wrist, I trembled. Not because I feared him, but because it felt safe. Safe, until later, when I found another note on my mirror. This one sharper. "If this was wrong, why did your body ask me to stay?" For the first time. I wondered what exactly Caleb wanted from me. Then came Savannah. My ex-husband's daughter. She appeared at my door with eyes that looked too old for 21. "Claire," she said, "I thought you should know. Dad was cheating long before you divorced. My mom wasn't the only one. There were others." Her words split me open. I thought I had already grieved that betrayal. But the way she said it, like I had been fighting for a ghost all along, it shook something loose. That night, I asked Caleb, "Why are you really here?" He hesitated. His storm-colored eyes flickered, and then he spoke the words that stole my breath. "My mother was the woman your husband had an affair with. I grew up watching her cry over your name." The room tilted. My skin burned cold. The man who had touched me like salvation was bound to me by betrayal. I should have told him to leave. I did tell him. But when he turned to go, my hand caught his wrist. And in that moment, anger twisted into need. We didn't kiss softly. We devoured each other like a wound that refused to close. Clothes fell. His mouth was fire, his hands were punishment and prayer all at once. But afterward, lying in silence, his words broke me again. I didn't stay for revenge. I stayed because when I touched you, you breathed like you wanted to live again. Then he left. No goodbye. Just silence thick enough to choke on. The next morning, I found one more line written faintly beneath his old note on my mirror. Sometimes love doesn't heal you. It shows you where the wounds still are. And I realized something terrifying. Caleb hadn't just touched my body. He had touched the one place I swore I'd never let anyone near again, my past. And now, I don't know if I can survive him. Would you have pushed him away, or surrendered too? Tell me in the comments. If this story pulled you under like it did me, like and share it with someone who understands the ache of forbidden love. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because Claire and Caleb's story is only just beginning. And the next chapter will change everything.